Good evening, everyone. Apologies for the delay this evening. My name is Lauren Buxton, and I'm the project worker here at Writing on the Wall, and I'm also the project worker for the Right Minds course. Welcome this evening to our What's Your Story, Right Minds end of year celebration, which is part of our writer's block. We set up the writer's block as an emergency response to the global pandemic to support our local communities in the best way that we know how, by the positive impact and the creativity and the arts has on people's lives. And you will see this with our upcoming events we've got over the next 2 weeks. We created the Right Minds project, which looks at the impact of mental health and well-being that it had on people during lockdown. And the Right Minds is a What's Your Story project, which allows people to tell their own stories and experiences as only they can. This is my first What's Your Story project, and to come together with a group of people weekly who've experienced varied degrees of mental health, as I know globally that we all have experienced poor mental health, and to build a safe space and a community. That was something I found that really special. I hope these readings and this anthology brings comfort and support to anyone who may need it. It shines a spotlight, a vital spotlight on mental health and well-being, and we can continue that vital conversation. But most importantly, I hope that it's a beacon of hope for everyone in these difficult times that we're facing. I'd like to now introduce our first reader this evening, and that is Hannah Eon. Hannah is a Northern Irish writer, and in her own words, Hannah slows down time to capture and see what really matters. Can you please give a round of applause to Hannah, please?
Thank you very much, Lauren. Thank you. And that, the group that we had, I think, was really something special. And you'll all see what's come out of it, but to be involved with such a diversity, it was great. I've got a piece here, and it's called The Promenade, and it actually came from a prompt out of a writer's block. A writer's block Cash Caraway workshop, so it was really good that I could take it into the class and work with it. So what Wow have been able to put on has been superb. Okay, I'll start reading now. Thank you. So, The Promenade. On the way home, On the way home, I could tell she had been thinking about things. It's in the way she looks out the window, sitting beside me in her pink car seat. The seats are down in the back. Yesterday we went to IKEA to buy a bookcase. Kallax, £10 off. This will change my life. I'll be organised. Except I can't get it out of the boot of the car myself. Sunset. Along the promenade, Scarlett says to me over a speed bump, "See, when you get coronavirus and you get sick and you die, what will happen to me?" And I look at her, my face. Straight, I mean business. Scarlett, I'm not going to leave you, honey. Mummy is doing all she can to keep safe. I wash my hands and wear a mask. Keep a distance. She looks out the window again, not convinced. I promise you, I'm not going to leave you, Scarlett. And I'm not going to die of coronavirus. And anyway, I don't think your daddy would let me. I don't think your daddy would let me die. He wouldn't let me into heaven, and have our attention now. He wouldn't let me join him. I know he wouldn't. Do you think your daddy would have you here left on your own? Both your mummy and daddy dead? My finger issuing a threat, smile on my face. Scarlett looks at me and laughs. She exclaims. We both laugh. Now do you believe me? I'm not going to leave you, sweetheart. I'm not going to die. Yes, she nods, still knowing everyone dies someday. I have to come up with the goods. And do you believe your daddy? Do you believe him? That he won't let me in? That he's not going to let me die? Yes, she grins. There we are now. I nod and say, no more, still knowing. We drive the long way home, chasing the sun, stopping to watch it disappear across the loch, knowing we'll sleep well tonight. Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you so much, Hannah. That was absolutely beautiful. From the very first moment you brought that to the course, I just found it really, really moving and really, really stirring. It really is stop you in your tracks piece. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So our next reader we have is Vicky. Vicky is a poet, a short story writer. She's been reading and writing poetry since she was 13. And she has actually published some work as well. So I'm going to give a big hand for Vicky, please.
Hi.
Hey Vic, you okay?
This is called The Birds. You shoo me along, which isn't nice. Maybe I want what you have, that dish of fried rice. I see you look at it in admiration. Does it give you that same satisfaction? It must do, as you hold it with dear life, like I'm going to swoop it from you so I can feed my pigeon wife. I have a family, you see. Yes, that's right. They are hiding. Humans give them a fright. Why do you cover your head and crouch? Like we are going to land on your snout. We fly low, we fly high. It depends what is in our sight. Don't shout or scream when we come near. We are all hungry, let me make that clear. Don't blame me if I go on attack. Those donuts you carry are my favourite snack. The sugar-coated rings put a sprint in my wings. We are all here to survive this 2020 life. Please stop giving us pigeon strife. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vicky, for reading that great piece. That was absolutely fantastic. And I can't wait to read all of your pieces in the anthology. Thank you so much. So our next writer is Julie. Julie is a Liverpool-born writer, and she is a poet. And she also appreciates art. So can I please give a big warm welcome to Julie, please?
I'm going to read two poems. Sling your hook. What gives you the right to reside right here, right now, right under my nose? I feel like a fugitive in full view. This fickle family's found a fresh feline focus. Well, Fido says, fuck off, Felix, keep away. As dog, I'm de facto head of house. I govern the garden too. I occupy the land from the lounge to the lettuce. I do my doggy doings down there. You don't mean diddly squat. I'm authorised to oust outsiders. This is an autonomous dog zone. I've profiled you, your purrs, your paws, your pussy, an exclusion clause. You don't equate to dog. Don't sniff my arse. Don't chase my tail. I'll wag it when I want. Don't want all-out war, just want you to understand. We're pro-canine, not cat. Moggy, I may be a mongrel, but I, Molly, ain't no mangy mutt. Don't take the mickey, you're no mouser. Ma mason is mine, so sling your hook, bag puss. Alexa's allowed, but 3 is a crowd. You're in the doghouse. No capacity for cat, don't want to chat cat, don't want to catch cat, having a cat nap, enjoying catnip, want to be cat free. Pumpkin. Was expecting her to be bright orange, told one day her eyes would be, pre-loved, longed for during lockdown, kitten purchased in the time of COVID, has finally come, has broken ranks with kith and kin in order to begin a new life here. Constable charcoal cloud dropped from the sky, smudge of grey, bemused by her own tail, forgetting, not knowing its attachment to her, an addendum. She sniffs the world, her contentment a triumph Bonneville ticking over, her hunger signalled by seagull-like screams, drinking from the dog's dish, dining from a dainty dish. She dashes it against the skirting to lick the innards clean, polishing off a pocket-sized pouch of pâté. Stretching on hind legs, she scratches the window, gleaning the garden through glass. Grey greets green. The metal dustbin reflects her doppelganger. She duels with her double. She bites the box bearing bottled beer, cardboard chewing cat. Pauses on paws, pads across floors, clambers through chair legs, dashing at closing doors. Softer than a teddy, more playful than a toy, cuter than Tweety Pie. In extremis, she sprawls, cross slate kitchen tiles, seeking cold respite. She sleeps on the stairs, feline fur fluffier than sheepskin, folds into fabric. Tail and tufts meld, grey on grey. Lockdown restrictions ease, R8 recedes. Into carpet, the cat vanishes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Julie. I absolutely love your poems. You really, really are a spoken word artist in the making. The rhythm of your poems has got me really, really excited to hear what you come up with next each week. So thank you so much for sharing those 2 fantastic poems with us. Thank you very much. So our next reader to take our virtual stage is Gary English. Gary has appeared in sports publications and local newspapers in Merseyside. He's also published a series of anthologies entitled Nonsensical Challenge, and he's also currently compiling 2 anthologies at the moment, Stories from My Life and Love, Lies and Limericks. So if you could please give me a big hand in welcoming Gary.
Hi, I've got a few pieces here, so I'll see how many I can squeeze in. This first one is called About Cats. I dream about cats. I'm not a fan, preferring to take them or leave them. Take them out with a blunderbuss, I joke, or leave them in other people's gardens where they belong, not sneaking into mine as bold as daylight. When I'm writing sometimes, a cat walks by my window, all open and above board, head held high, like a duchess. I know full well its final destination is my garden, to chase birds or lie in wait for half-tame squirrels, fed on nuts and seeds. This riles me. My blood boils, and I rap on a window, emitting some incoherent yell, like a victim in a dream chased by monsters. The cat pauses for a moment, slowly turns its head, majestic in its motion. I'm sure it smiles and tuts. What can this agitated person want? Why does it interrupt my progress? The neck twists slowly back and front paws rise and fall like a dressage pony processing on its way. Frenzied, I leap out of my chair, screaming without doubt some wild profanity at the air in lieu of the cat. Rushing to the back door, I leap out into the garden, wishing my water bucket full of rainwater, hoping the garden hose is still attached to the outside tap. It isn't, of course. It's in the shed with the bucket. The cat escapes a soaking. Besides, the cat is far smarter than I and disappears without trace before I unlock the back door. Returning, probably, once I stumble back inside, blinded by my fury. I think this may be why I dream about cats, the knowledge that they consistently defeat me in my own garden. This next one's called Deborah in the Park. I often lay with Deborah in the park, kissing her by the bush that shielded us from onlookers. We whispered words of teenage love, not knowing what they meant, with no concept of devotion or eternity. Distant sounds of birds and tarmac tires played a symphony, a soundtrack to our story, until the day she asked, "Do you like avocado?" I don't know why she asked, "Do you like avocado?" I questioned her question. This was no place for such things, but she persisted. "Do you like avocado?" And so I had to admit, I had no idea if I liked avocado. She uttered surprise that I had never tasted avocado. But I ate Heinz beans and burnt bangers. She ate avocado. And worse was to come. Her face fell when I finally admitted, to be honest, I don't know what avocado is. Is it like a pear? We never kissed again. This third one's called Oops. Very short one. The glass tumbled from my hand and shattered on the tiled floor. 1,000 pieces of chaos, like my life. Like your heart when I shattered that. No time to react. I walked away again to the next disaster, simply saying, oops. And finally, hope I've got time for this. This one's called Vultures. Dry. My mouth was so dry as I wandered in the desert of my barren mind. Thoughts crumbling as dust engulfed me. Heat and sweat soaking me to the bone as I searched the horizon of my understanding, trying to make out shapes that would bring hope of familiarity and safety to no avail. Abandoned, alone, amazed at this turn of events, I wandered, maybe in circles, until the vultures came, finally to feast. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you so much, Gary. That was fabulous. I absolutely loved hearing your pieces every week when you brought them to us, especially the custard cream to cream slice. But thank you very, very, very much. And our next reader to read this evening is Bretta Kane. Bretta is a Liverpool-born writer. The Right Minds is her first foray into writing and publishing. So if you can please give me a big, massive welcome to Bretta, please.
Hi, I'm going to read two short poems, if I may. The first one's called Remains of the Day. In the darkness, I plunge my hands into the murky waters of the night and try to scour away the fetid remnants of the day. Self-worth, as delicate as china, is chipped away. Voices and harsh opinions eddy together and ripple up through the water, gathering volume. Invisible cracks leave me fragile and easily damaged. The mantra, etched into the pattern, repeats my nightmare. adds weight to the belief that echoes inside my head. I do not deserve to be loved. As night fades, the dirty water draining from the sink, revealing the porcelain whiteness of morning, drags down my fears with it. But like the greasy tide mark and stubborn residue the fairy cannot remove, the deepest stains remain. Filled up again with clean water of the dawn, every dirty dish of insult, casual cup of dismissal served up to me that day, goes in to soak away the hurt and await the nighttime ritual of cleansing my soul, performed in the lonely kitchen of my mind, and I wait to be broken again. My second one was written from a prompt to write a love letter to the sun, and it's called Solace. You're leaving again, signalled by the growing distance between us. I feel your restlessness. The warmth has faded from your fire. Pale-faced, shame-faced, with some kindness, a nod to what we once shared. You recede slowly, so I can adjust to the dark days ahead and cling to the memory of your image, burnt on the lids of my closed eyes. You'll move on to caress the exposed skin and limbs of new lovers, kiss the necks of others as you used to mine, seduce them into thinking that this love affair will last. As the Earth's axis tilts, the gravitational pull of the distant shores, too strong for you to resist, I wait until again I feel your presence, for I know that you will continue to return until the end of time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bertha, for those two incredible pieces. Especially the first one, really sticks with you after you've heard it. Thank you so much for sharing those with us this evening. So our next reader is Moon. Moon is a genderqueer writer, and they've been published in The Guardian, as well as being also published with writing on the wall. So can I give a big hand to Moon, please?
Thank you, Lauren. It's been a really good evening so far. I really loved the bio course. It gave me confidence to explore some of the mad ideas I've got, such as this one, which is called Bitter Aftertaste. How was I to know? I just thought it might be lemon flavour or something. After all, yesterday was Shrove Tuesday. We had fabulous pancakes. I prefer banana and Nutella, but where do you find banana out in the Arctic? That's more the Caribbean. So I had them drizzled with lemon and sugar. Brian packed it. He's thoughtful like that. Mind you, he couldn't fight his way out of a wet paper bag. But I'm glad we brought him instead of Jack. Jack couldn't afford to bring lemon and sugar. It would have been all scientific instruments with him. Probably even a Bunsen burner. And what use is a Bunsen burner out here? So yeah, seeing it there, it reminded me of the slushies we get back home. Raspberry was always my favourite. But you know, when presented to me for free, I'm not going to turn down a lemon one either. I thought it would be refreshing. How was I to know any different? It's the first time I've been on one of these trips. Obviously, I did think twice before scooping it up, but beggars can't be choosers. And besides, I still haven't forgiven Peter for helping himself to all the dime bars. There was no way I was letting him have all the slushy as well. I don't know why we even brought him. He's almost as thick as he is fat. Still, he was the first to move the water. I have to give him that. I can still taste it though, and it still makes me gag. But how was I to know? I thought it would be like a lemon slushy. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much, Moon. I absolutely really loved again hearing your pieces each week, and thank you so much for sharing this piece with us this evening. So our next reader to read this evening is Ratty. Ratty is a trans man and an LGBTQ activist. He's been published in Writing on the Walls transcripts, as well as our new anthology, Moving Forward. So could you please give Ratty a big round of applause and a welcome.
Thank you, Lauren. I'm going to read a piece of mine called 2020's Vision of Pride. It should have been today. This was the day we waged our annual war on hate. Locking my bedroom door, I excavate my little flags from the back of the bottom drawer. Curtains drawn, listening for footsteps on the stairs. I close my eyes, remembering last year's pride. Rain glistened on dull pavements as our river of rainbows ambled through the city. Whistles and cheers filling the sodden air. Flags were flung around, as much to try and dry them as in support. From under a canopy of umbrellas, phones watched high heels slipping on slick tarmac and makeup melting down faces. No one was going to dull our sparkle. Not the preaching placards or the overzealous turfs. We were here, the united queer. Minorities supporting each other against hate. Fears of being outed were pushed to the back of my mind as my trans and rainbow flags merged with the rest. Temporarily, I felt free of pigeonholes that insist you must be one thing or another, and judgments about how you can or can't live. Checking my door was definitely locked. I waved my flags as I watched a silent montage of clips from previous prides on YouTube, wishing that I was free to just be openly me. Love is love, but fear is fear. Thank you.
Thank you, Ratty, for that truly powerful piece. Thank you so much for sharing that with us this evening. And our next writer we have is Ginny Manning. Ginny is a award-winning playwright. She's actually worked Writing on the Wall, and she has actually been published with Writing on the Wall as well. So can we please give a big, massive, warm, welcome to Ginny Manning, please?
Thank you, Lauren. I just want to say before I read this how special the space was that Debbie created for us all, and it was a real privilege meeting and sharing work with everybody in the group. It was really great, a real lockdown highlight for me. This is called It Won't Stop. It was a poem that I got feedback from the group for. It won't stop the time keeping of the rumbling train. It won't stop the timpani of birds. It won't stop the mint growing upright in my yard. It won't stop the pale glide of the swans on the ruffled water of the marina. It won't stop the tap tap as I type these words. It won't stop the neural firework as my brain creates. It won't stop the flick flick of the TV. It won't stop my cardiac tick tock, reminding me I have a life to live. It won't stop the elastic yawn of the dog. It won't stop my creaky morning stretch. It won't stop the volcanic rise of the cakes I bake. It won't stop the squeak of my teeth after sweet tea, or the pleasure that can be taken in a Garibaldi biscuit. It won't stop the gift of briny air at the beach. It won't stop the fracture of shells underfoot. It won't stop the mantra of the susurrating waves. It won't stop the majestic float of the ships sailing upstream from our huge world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ginny. That was absolutely fabulous. It's been an absolute pleasure to hear all of your pieces this evening. So our next writer is Ange Wolfe, but unfortunately Angie can't be with us this evening. But she has asked me to read out her work. So I'll do that now. So her poem is entitled "Bottling Up" by Ange Wolfe. I track and trace my own bad days, and add them to my database. Extract the essence from each fall. Bottle them, however small. Label them upon my shelf with the title "Mental Health." Then, when I'm well and feeling good, not anxious or misunderstood, I'll open them up, the biggest one, allow it to spill and run, to see how darkness stole those days, and how my mind was all ablaze. Then scoop it up and put it back, safely sealed without a crack, and safely sealed without a crack. And note how transient is life, and peace is equal to the strife. I'll hold on tight to faith and hope, even when I cannot cope, and watch my strength, see how it arise, and grow despite the silent cries. I recognize I'm not defeated. I throw my arms out wide to greet that. Everything will be all right, because I'm still here to put it right. And our final piece this evening is by Danielle Mclaren. Danielle is a Liverpool-born writer and theatre maker, and she's currently writing her autobiographical one-woman show, which received a C commission from the Liverpool Every Man New Works development. So Danielle has recorded a piece for us, which we'd like to share with you now, and hope that you enjoy it.
Hi there, I am so sorry that I can't join you all on the Zoom tonight. Unfortunately I've got to work, but I thought I would send in a video of me reading my pieces, so I hope you enjoy. The first one is called Williamson Square Residence. Nestled into the nooks and crevices of monuments, finding stone shelter in buildings, the chill of the Irish Sea carried to the city's heart on the Mersey wind. We stop here a while and watch the waves of fast walkers, talkers, plodders, observers, a crisscross of loose threads, stories intertwining. In collaboration with the street busker, chatter flutters up to the gutters where we perch. Catching our chances from an open wrapper, cold chips beckon us to the patchwork of damp flagstones. Our flight is welcomed with high-pitched yelps, hands and feet shooing us away. Springing back to the misty grey above, dissatisfaction and a single scrap caught in our beaks, we release our objection onto the heads below. The next one is called Bittersweet. I learned about two major things at the age of 7, sex and inflation. Sex, I discovered, was something to do with babies and love, but not to be talked about when Sue and Mike were around for dinner. I was okay with that. Inflation hit me harder. Memories of my last visit just 1 month prior had me salivating before I had even opened the sticker-laden door. Peach floor tiles decorated with the muddy footprints of my fellow classmates gone before me on that rainy day in April. A kaleidoscope of sugary treats at the back hit my eyes as the smell of flumps and spaceships and lollipops and bonbons painted a smile on my freckled face. The 20p warm in my sweaty hand. I watched Jazz shovel the fizzy cola bottles into the flimsy paper bag. She stopped at 10. I waited for her to start again, but all she did was hand me the bag in exchange for that 20p piece. I can still taste my disappointment at the true value of that coin. And this one is called Rocks in My Pocket. The first time is the worst time, they say, for having your heart broken. I cried enough to fill the reservoir, swore to wrap myself in some sort of shield. I was 8 years old. Mum promised me I would smile again, because a heart can't be broken, just dismantled. When my bones stopped aching and my soul no longer bled, she gave me a pebble. Cold, smooth, the colour of the almost forgotten bits of sky at sunset. I was to hold this little rock to remember that whatever happens, I won't always hurt. At 11 years old, I experienced my first last goodbye. Surrounded by pain and grief, I wanted to float away and return to a world of games and stories. Somehow, the weight of that tiny pebble kept my feet on the ground, long enough to make it through the funeral at least. Age 27, when I lay in hospital hearing the news that my chances of being called mummy were being cut away with the removal of each damaged piece of ovary, my morphine-riddled fingers clasped that pebble. Now, the cases rise. Lives are on pause. Dreams packed away for a later date, a cancelled Christmas. Still, shoved deep in the pocket of my jeans, is that little piece of this planet telling me that everything's going to be all right. We won't always hurt. My final piece is tough love. Waking up is hard. Lying in bed in the dark with only your own breath and the loose threads of memories of another is hard. Having a dream that rips down the middle, learning that your face does not fit their idea or that your hips do not fit into those jeans, sitting at a table eating a meal surrounded on all sides feeling like not one single word or glance is for you is hard. Closing the door behind you, being greeted by nothing but the worn out rug beneath your feet and the sound of emptiness is hard. My mother taught me that anyway was the only way. Life is hard, but I have to believe anyway. I have to believe that even when the darkness hacks its way into my safe place, even when my own hands are around my throat and the last marble of hope starts its descent, the drapes can be pulled back to let the light in. I have to believe that one day I will turn the tapestry over. The tangled loose threads of wasted chances and disappointments no longer visible, and I will see that all this time I have been weaving something beautiful. Thank you very much.
Wow, that final piece from Danielle always chokes me up. I just want to say a big, a massive congratulations to everyone who's read tonight and all of the participants on the Right Mind course. You are really truly an incredible special group of writers. And it is such a wonderful anthology. I'd like to say a particularly special thank you to our course tutor Deborah, who without her we wouldn't get the work that we did. She created such an encouraging and safe space for everyone, and the knowledge and wisdom that she imparted on everyone was just she's just fabulous. So I want to say thank you so much to Deborah Morgan. Also, I'd like to say A big thank you as well to our funders, the Steve Morgan Foundation, Community Fund and Community Fund in Merseyside. Thank you so much. And also to our WOW team as well, who worked tirelessly and to put on such fantastic events and projects like this, and which are very much needed, especially during the lockdown. And also, I just want to say a big thank you to the audience for joining us this evening. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and please do go out and get this fantastic anthology, and please do join us tomorrow as well for another what will be another incredible evening of readings from our it's What's Your Story, It's Not Okay project, so that'll be on at 6 o'clock tomorrow. So take care, everyone, and I hope you have a lovely rest of the evening, and stay safe. Bye.